Hey everybody! Welcome to
Grant Stinson's Top 10 Things of Movies.
Yeah, so these are going to be some top 10s that I'm going to be coming out on a weekly basis. They're just going to be top 10 movie, TV related things. Everybody seems to like a list these days, so I thought maybe I'd jump on the list bandwagon and ride it. Today I've got my top 10
Overrated Movies of 2013.
Before everyone decides that I'm a few clowns short of a circus, these are not movies that I disliked. Some of these movies I thoroughly enjoyed. I just think that critics and fans got a little bit carried away when promoting these movies. People were talking about them. Critics were talking about them. I just feel like they were overrated. They're overrated. That's the name of the list. Okay. If that's all cool, then here are my top 10 overrated movies of 2013.
Number 10.
The Butler. It's a true story about an incredible guy, but it gets caught up in itself just a bit too many times for me. There are these long, drawn-out scenes. It's just talking about practically nothing, and then you're like, what the hell was that? Why did that scene go into the film? These are scenes that don't add anything to the whole civil rights plotline. They don't move the plot forward at all for any of the lead characters. So in a 2-hour movie that feels like a 4-hour movie, these little meaningless scenes can make all the difference. They take you out of the moment, so you're sitting there watching, and then you're just like, oh, when is this going to be over? You do that a couple times during a movie, there's no way you're not going to leave it feeling like you've been sitting there for 1,000 hours.
Number 9.
Star Trek Into Darkness. Yeah, that's right. AAA releases are not safe from my list. Good viewer people. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed this movie. It's a good movie. It's fun to watch. It does everything decently. And it's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it. I love me some Benedict. Add a little milk and honey, maybe half a grapefruit. You got yourself a balanced breakfast. But not even the almighty Smaug could make this movie as good as the first one. As good as it could be. It had so much potential. But if a person's not crying, then they're dying. You know, it's just the overacting, just so much emotion. There's just like this emotional roller coaster. By the end of the movie, you're just like, oh. And that Alice Eve scene. Why is she just undressing in front of Captain Kirk? It makes no sense. She brings him into this space shuttle and then just takes off all her clothes. And he's just like, whoa. And she's like, turn away. It's like, what? Why did you, what?
Number 8.
Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing. Joss Whedon tried to do Shakespeare and it failed hard in a big way. Got like a 90-something on the tomato meter, but like, me. This movie was hard to watch. Now, I did watch it on a plane, and it is black and white, and it's Shakespeare. So that's kind of a perfect storm of for me. And it's not even like that cool, like old-timey black and white, like The Artist. That movie did black and white in a great way. This is just like HD, perfect footage, just desaturated. So it kind of looks weird. It takes you out of it. The acting's not that good. It's long, it's boring. I'm sorry, Joss Whedon. I mean, I love your movies. I'm a longtime fan. Everything you've ever done I've enjoyed, except this movie. I'm sorry, dude.
Number 7.
Riddick. Now, Riddick. Okay. This movie only got a 59 on Rotten Tomatoes, but it didn't deserve a 59. This movie deserved like a 6. Maybe a 7. Ugh. If you're gonna give a movie an R rating, use it. Use the R rating. Put some fun, some R-rated comedy, some super R-rated exciting violence. There's like 1 or 2 scenes of like super extreme gore, and the rest of the movie could just be PG-13. They don't even like commit to the R rating. God, just like the opening lines.
There are bad days, and they are legendary bad days.
What? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't go see it. Don't ever watch it. The horrible final installment of a trilogy that's taken 14 years to make, and it just didn't need to happen. If they were going to do it, they should have done it right, but they just tried to cash in, and you could tell.
Number 6.
Fast and Furious 6. This movie is like a carbon copy of Fast and Furious 5, which was franchise redefining for the Fast and Furious series. They just try to make another Fast 5, which makes sense. It's a sequel. And they're at 6 now, so it's like, who cares? People are obviously going to see these movies. But they ruined it because they didn't do all the good things that Fast and 5 did. Fast 5, by far, one of my favorite action movies of all time. It's over the top, all the cheesy one-liners, all the extremely over-the-top stunts, everything about it. It's wildly unbelievable. And most importantly, it knows that it's wildly unbelievable. The reason the movie works so well is because at the end of every scene, you can just tell that the actor's about to completely break down laughing because it's so outrageous, it's so much fun, And that comes through the screen to the audience, and you enjoy it even more because you're like, oh, this is just a fun movie. And Fast 6 just got caught up in itself a little bit too much, so you're kind of like, oh, I actually believe what they're trying to do here. You know, the plot got like a little bit too complex, and then everyone's just like,
Number 5.
Elysium. Now, a lot of people didn't get a chance to see Neil Blomkamp's second theatrical release film, his original being District 9. By far, one of my favorite movies of all time. That's a top 5 movie for me. I loved it so much. I thought it was perfect. I thought it got robbed at the Oscars. While Elysium delivered a lot of cool stuff, it left so much to be desired. Blomkamp creates this vibrant, interesting world, and then he just goes and fills it with these flat characters, these arbitrary plot lines. It's this beating the dead horse that is the reluctant savior theme. Oh no, I don't want to do any of this, I don't want to do any of this. And then at the final moments of the movie, he's like, I'm gonna save the world. And then he dies. But it's like, oh, he's such a hero. But it's like, no, that guy was an ass. He was gonna die anyway. I don't know. And then at the end of the movie, you're kind of just like, could have been so much more.
Number 4.
The World War Z theatrical release. Now I'm gonna get into how that is so much worse than the unrated version that came out on DVD. So, the World War Z theatrical release was a PG-13 release. And it was good. So a new zombie movie comes out like every freaking year. So it's really cool to see World War Z do the unconventional original twist on the zombie idea. A PG-13 zombie movie, in my eyes, isn't a zombie movie. That's why the unrated version is so much better, because it puts in all the violence, all the thrills, and all the scares, and all the tension and intensity that is a real zombie movie. Because without that tension and intensity, what are the stakes? If you don't see somebody getting eaten, you know, okay, PG-13 version, oh my god, there's zombies, everybody run! The R-rated version is, oh my god, there's zombies! You know, and blood and
Number 3.
Thor: The Dark World. I'm just gonna say it, this movie was kind of a sandwich. It's got all the makings of a perfect Marvel movie. You've got Thor, who's great, and you've got the sexy human Natalie Portman, you've got Loki, who's gonna betray somebody at some point, you got Anthony Hopkins, you got the super cosmic, crazy, badass villain. But then the directors decided to have like a blind, impotent monkey put the sandwich together. And then on it. No wonder this movie was garbage. I cared more about Loki than Thor, the bad guy, Marduk, and who cares, man? He was the only character that I cared about, and even in the end, it was like, fuck. Ugh. The movie should have been called Loki, the dawn of a franchise, because they could just start making Loki movies. I don't even care about Thor anymore. He's boring. Way too much Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings is the downfall of these movies. Kat Dennings! She's just unnecessary.
Number 2.
Pacific Rim. Like, seriously, everybody seemed to love this movie. I don't want to hate on it too much, but this movie was garbage for me. It didn't do anything. Like, it had the whole huge monsters robots thing. But other than that, this movie, just horrible acting, horrible writing. My brother and I were never good fighters, but we were drift compatible. Like, underwater fight scene for the climax of your movie? It's just... Oh, and use that sword. That super effective sword.
And my number 1 most overrated movie of 2013
is Iron Man 3. I mean, it's indisputable that this movie is hilariously entertaining. It's a fun family film, but it's also kind of I walked out of the cinema and I was like, oh, that was great! And then I saw it again and I was like, that was great? Wait, why did a Christmas movie come out in April? That whole movie was actually kind of a convoluted mess of... I blacked out. Woke up in a white room. Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck were huddled over me. You liked Iron Man 3, didn't you? Zap! You liked all the mindless action and pretty colors, didn't you, Grant? Zap! Didn't you like the one-liners? The puns, Grant! The puns! And then I woke up in my bed. Was it a dream or was it real? I'll never know. But I know not to cross Disney anymore. Those guys are serious. So, do you guys agree with my list? I know it's a bit controversial, but this is a highbrow show. If you agree with my list, maybe you don't agree with my list, let me know it down in the comments down below. Down there, down, did I say down? Check back soon for more movie news. I'll be doing my top 10 underrated movies of 2013. I hope I didn't anger any of you. Sorry that I was a bit ranty this show. Let me know if you liked it though. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Love you guys.